Water safety. Learn how to swim. Wear your life jacket. Take a boating safety class. How much do you know about water safety? Water safety. Who must take boater education? A. Anyone born on or after September 1st, 1993. B. Persons 13 to 17 years old. C. Persons 12 years old. D. Everyone. Right answer is A. Anyone born on or after September 1st, 1993. Water safety. Texas law requires that a PWC, personal watercraft operator life jacket. A. True. B. False. Right answer is A. True. Water safety. What is the purpose of the ignition safety switch lanyard, also called a kill switch on a PWC or a powerboat? A. To keep a throw-able PFO from falling overboard. B. To keep the operator from falling overboard. C. To secure the PWC to its trailer to prevent theft. D. To shut off the engine if the operator falls overboard. Right answer is D. To shut off the engine if the operator falls overboard. Water safety. By law, life jackets must be A. Coast Guard approved. B. In good serviceable condition. C. Readily accessible. D. All of the above. Right answer is D. All of the above. Water safety. What factors increase the risk of drowning? A. Lack of swimming ability. B. Weather. C. Lack of supervision. D. All the above. Right answer is D. All of the above. Never happens.
All I remember is making a large U-turn and then waking up in the hospital 10 days later.
And the whole time we're just screaming as loud as we can, hoping somebody will hear us. Nobody can hear us, no one's around.
I knew it was real whenever I heard the ambulance driving across the freeway over the lake. It was supposed to be Bobby and two of his friends, Cedric and John, and Cedric followed us in his car to the lake.
Me, Bobby, and Cedric, we're saying that go for a little swim, a little further out.
Cedric was like, we should swim out to those buoys out there. And I told Bobby no. And he kept screaming my middle name. He kept screaming Nicole because I wouldn't turn around. I didn't want to listen to him because I already told him no, he couldn't go out there. And he was just like, Nicole, and I turned around and I was like, what? And he was like, I love you. And I was like, I love you too, now get out of the water. I sat in the sand and I turned around and him and Cedric and John were already way out there swimming to the buoys.
Bobby was about maybe 5 feet away from me when I turned around to get a little breath and see if everybody was all right.
And he actually just hit the buoy and started swimming back. He didn't stop and take a breath.
Swam a little more. About 2-3 seconds later, I turned back around when I could touch my feet in the sand in the water, and turned around and Bobby was nowhere to be found.
I looked back up and John and Cedric are just standing out in the sand facing the water. And I'm standing there and I'm just waiting because I see 2 people, I don't see 3. And then I was screaming and I was like, where's Bobby? And they were like, I don't know, he hasn't came up yet.
There was some problems going on, like, in the family, and really I just wanted to stay out of it. My mom's friend offered me his jet ski for the afternoon, and since I was unhappy, I went out there. I felt in control. At first I felt like I could do anything, and then I started to lose control of it. There was a couple on the other side of the lake that I remember. They were going 40. The tip of their jet ski hit me in the torso. The whole thing took place a couple feet up in the air above the surface of the water.
And we'd left my grandmother's house. It was me, Brennan, and Taylor. We loaded up my boat, and we headed out to fish to check some trot lines. We checked the fish. We only had 2 small fish on the trot line, so we decided, you know, with the storm blowing in and as bad as it was starting to get, because it was getting worse and worse by the minute, that we would just go ahead and leave the fish there. I've been fishing this lake since I was a little boy, and so I just was that person that didn't think I needed a life jacket or a kill switch or any of that type of stuff, you know. I felt the boat trying to jerk to my left, and whenever I looked back, I saw Taylor, you know, with fright in his eyes. He'd realized something was wrong, and it was just that split second. I mean, it was just as soon as I looked at him, we were in the water, and I mean, he flipped us out, and as soon as we flipped out into the water, it took our breath away. It was so cold. I've swam that lake, I can't tell you how many times, pools. I mean, it was crazy that how fast the water took our energy and all of our strength away. The boat kept on going, and it started going towards the 66 bridge, so I knew that it was gone. You know, there's no chance of getting it back.
It was a normal day. Like, we were planning on going fishing, and
I caught one. I don't remember what it was. And then Gabby caught a skipjack, and then Callie caught the most fish. Lucky her, she caught a dogfish.
the boat had taken a sudden turn, and we weren't expecting it. And I had been sitting right next to Callie, and everything just froze, and everything was in slow motion.
I just felt the boat do something. I wasn't really sure. I just slid around on the floor everywhere.
I just saw her just fly off the edge, and we heard something hit the motor.
And so, and then we
were all wearing life jackets, because if not, I definitely would, without a doubt, would have drowned. They pulled me onto the boat and took me to shore. After that, the male who was driving the other jet ski started performing CPR.
Brandon started kind of getting away from us, and I just remember Taylor and me looking at each other and knowing we'd really messed up.
I was at shore catching my breath so I can go back out and look for Bobby. Couldn't find him. After 20 minutes, stayed out the water, and police officer showed up.
We saw her float to the top.
I really thought when she came up, she maybe had just knocked the breath out of her or something, like she was just passed out. And then we saw our wounds, and it looked really bad from there. And that's when we started panicking, and we pulled her up over the side of the boat, and we laid her down. And then my dad was telling us to call 911 and to put pressure on her neck. She had 2 gashes. I didn't know she had 2, so I only had my hand on the one, and Gabby was holding her hand.
Their jet ski crushed my knee into 8 pieces, lacerated my spleen, liver, and pancreas. My aorta had torn.
I just remember it was like fighting 1,000 people at one time. I just knew that there was no chance in hell I was gonna make it. Me and Taylor were right next to each other. We couldn't find him. He was already gone. He already left.
And me and Katie just held Callie in our arms, just told her we were there for her, that everything would be okay.
And then we started telling her that we loved her and what a great person she was, because she was as close to perfect as perfect could be,
Finally, I saw the boat coming back to the shore, and I saw Bobby's body, and he was laying on the stretcher, and they laid him in the sand.
I would have been unconscious for at least a day or 2, but with all of the surgery and how severe the injuries were, they kept me under for 10 to 12 days.
I swam towards him as much as I could. I could barely even move myself. I was kicking my feet for him. I couldn't find him. And then it was after that, it was, it was fight for yourself, It was, no longer, where's Brandon? It's like, oh man, what am I gonna do to save myself?
Right after they took her, the policeman took me and Katie to the hospital. So we waited there, and we just prayed and prayed and prayed, and until we got the news that our best friend had passed away. And
They take you to a special room, they sit you down, and they tell you they tell you what they did, how hard they tried, that she just wouldn't come back. And that's what happened.
I just remember him saying that he saw a boat. And then whenever I heard him say that, I thought he was hallucinating, because I know that, when people are dying and stuff's going on, you think crazy things. And this boat with two gentlemen came over to me, and they threw me a rope. He pulled us both onto the boat, and we sat there for a second, and then we said Brandon's name, and they said, "There's somebody else," and we said, "Yes, sir."
And I started breaking down and started crying, and it hurt me the most that I had to call his mom whenever talking to a best friend's parent and telling them that their son is gone.
I went to him for everything, so it was really hard for him not to be there anymore.
We looked for him for 29 days. And we finally found him. Thanks to a lot of help. It was the worst day of my life by far. And I'll never forget it. I see the look in his eyes sometimes when I'm sleeping.
Because you never think it's gonna happen to you or anybody that you care for.
Never go beyond your limits because you're on the water.
wear a life jacket.
Please, for you and your family's sake, use a kill switch.
I'm alive because I was wearing a life jacket.
Know what to do in an emergency.
Keep safe in the water.
Don't give in to peer pressure.
Use a life jacket.
Take a boater safety course. It can save your life.
Water safety. Facts. About 1 in 5 people who die from drowning are children ages 14 and younger. For every child who dies from drowning, another 5 have injuries that send them to the emergency room. Over 50% of drowning victims treated in emergency rooms require hospitalization or further care, compared with a hospitalization rate of about 6% for all unintentional injuries. Water safety. Facts. There are more than 625,000 registered boats in Texas, ranking it 6th in the nation. Canoes and kayaks are not registered in Texas. 1 out of 6 Texans, or 4.360 million, participate in motorboating activities every year. In Texas, there was a dramatic decrease in boating-related fatalities from a high of 61 in 2008 to 27 in 2010 and 2012. Non-fatal drowning injuries can be damage. Water safety. Factors that increase risk. Lack of swimming ability. Many adults and children report that they can't swim. Lack of close supervision. Drowning can happen quickly and quietly anywhere there is water, and even in the presence of lifeguards. Location. More than half of fatal and non-fatal drownings among those 15 years and older occurred in natural water settings. Water safety. Factors that increase risk. Failure to wear life jackets. Annually, over 70% of the boating deaths that occur are caused by drowning, with over 80% of victims not wearing life jackets. Alcohol use. Among adolescents and adults, alcohol use is involved in up to 70% of deaths associated with water recreation. Water safety. Factors that decrease risk. Swimming skills help learn to swim. Statistics showed that taking part in informal swimming lessons reduces the risk of drowning among children aged 1 to 4 years. Life jackets can reduce risk. Wear it. Potentially, 75% of all boating-related deaths might be prevented with the use of life jackets. Water safety. Water safety. Factors that decrease risk. Take a boating safety course. Boaters who take a boater safety course are less likely to be involved in an accident. In Texas, a person born on or after September 1, 1993 must take a boating safety course to operate a power vessel. Seconds count. Learn CPR. CPR performed by bystanders has been shown to save lives and improve outcomes in drowning victims. The more quickly CPR is started, the better the chance of an improved outcome. Water safety. Factors that decrease risk. Supervise when in or around water. Designate a responsible adult to watch young children while in the bath and all children swimming or playing in or around water. Avoid alcohol. Avoid drinking alcohol before or during swimming, boating, or water skiing. Do not drink alcohol while supervising children. Water safety. Texas Required Equipment Checklist. PWC. Boat less than 16 feet. Boat 16 feet to 26 feet. Boater Education Certification Card and Photographic Identification on board. Certificate of Number on board. Validation decals displayed. Life jackets Type 1, 2, 3 or V. Life jackets Type 4. Type BI fire extinguisher. Ignition safety switch. Backfire flame arrestor. Ventilation system. Muffler. Horn, whistle or bell. Daytime visual distress signals. Nighttime visual distress signals. Navigation lights. Water safety. Texas Required Equipment Checklist. For all power and sailboat operators born on or after September 1, 1993. All vessels must have at least one life jacket at all times. Children under the age of 13 must wear a life jacket while underway. Navigation lights are required when operating between sunset and sunrise. Required when boating on federally controlled water. Certain items are not applicable to PWCS because they are not allowed to operate between sunset and sunrise. Water safety. Legal boating points of confusion. Life jacket use on PWC versus boats. PWC must wear a life jacket at all times regardless of age. Inflatable life jackets not permitted. Boat, required for children under the age of 13. Must be 16 years old to wear an inflatable life jacket. Ignition safety cutoff switch use. PWC must be attached at all times while underway. Boat highly recommended. Water safety. Legal boating points of confusion. Minimum safe distances. PWC may not operate within 50 feet of anything or anyone except at headway speed. Headway speed equals slow, idle speed, or no wake speed. Diver down flag. No vessel may operate within 50 feet of a diver down flag and must slow to headway speed within 150 feet. Homeland security restriction. Do not approach within 100 yards of any U.S. naval vessel and slow to headway speed within 500 yards. Water safety. Legal boating points of confusion. Legal operating hours for personal watercraft, PWC jet ski, and towable water sports. PWC operations sunrise to sunset. Towable water sports, half an hour before sunrise to half an hour after sunset. PWCs may never operate at night, even if equipped with running lights. Boat registration. Once a vessel is equipped with a mechanical propulsion, it must be registered. Electric trolling motors included. Water safety questions. Water safety. Among adolescents and adults, alcohol use is involved in up to 70% of deaths associated with water recreation activities. A. True. B. False. Right answer is A. True. Water safety. 1 in 5 people who die from drowning are children 14 and younger. A. True. B. False. Right answer is A. True. Water safety. More than half of fatal and non-fatal drownings. Water safety. More than half of fatal and non-fatal drownings among those 15 years of age and older occurred in bathtubs. A. True. B. False. Right answer is B. False. Explanation. More than half of fatal and non-fatal drownings among those 15 years of age and older occur in natural water settings like lakes, rivers, and oceans, not in bathtubs. Bathtub drownings are more common among very young children or elderly individuals, but not the majority for ages 15 and older. Water safety. Swimming with a friend or family member and close supervision of children are factors that reduce the risk of drowning. A. True. B. False. Right answer is A. True. Water safety. PWC is required to have which of these on board? There may be more than one correct answer. A. Navigation lights. B. Distress signals. C. Whistle. D. Certificate of number. Right answer is C. Whistle. D. Certificate of number. Water safety. Resources. Texas Parks and Wildlife Department. The American Red Cross, Texas Department of Family and Protective Services, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Buying a car. And identify your needs and wants. Remember, water safety. Buying a car. Steps in the car buying process. When identify your needs and wants. What do you need to do with your car? Will you drive a lot of miles? What features would you like to have? You may have to trade off some of the wants for a lower price. Steps in the car buying process. To determine what you can afford. General guideline. Monthly payment should be no more than 20% of money left over after paying regular monthly expenses, rent, utilities, credit card payments, etc. Or you can utilize the 20/10 rule. Total debt monthly payment should not be more than 10% of your monthly net income. Cost of maintaining car, gas, oil, etc. Insurance. Steps in the car buying process. 3. Identify and research your choices. Compare features of the models against list of wants and needs. Compare models with the same options. List pros and cons of each model. Steps in the car buying process. For decide whether to buy new or used. Cost is a major factor in this decision. New car loses much of its market value as soon as it is purchased. Used car may need more repairs. Steps in the car buying process. 5. Get credit pre-approval. Allows comparison of total costs of buying including credit rates. Fill out an application at credit union or bank. Steps in the car buying process. 6. Research insurance rates. Call insurance agents and compare rates with at least 3 different companies. Young adults pay dearly for car insurance. Age group. Annual auto insurance cost. Insurance as percent of median wage for that group. 16 to 19. $2,923. 15.6%. 20 to 24. $1,984. 3%. 25 to 34. $1,553. 4.3%. 35 to 44. $1,493. 3.2%. 45 to 54. $1,423. 2.8%. 55 to 64. $1,174. 2.3%. 65 plus. $1,201. 3%. Steps in the car buying process. 7. Search for available vehicles. Newspaper ads. Internet. Craigslist. Auto Trader. Cars.com. Dealer websites. List cars that meet your specifications, features, and prices. Steps in the car buying process. 8. Test drive each vehicle. Compare ride, handling, braking, features, and costs. Try all features. Look for rust and mismatched paint, which could indicate car has been in an accident. Steps in the car buying process. 9. Check the history of a used vehicle. Each vehicle has a unique VIN, vehicle identification number, that identifies the car. VIN is on the dashboard in front of the driver and on all vehicle documents. Request a Carfax report from the previous owner. Steps in the car buying process. 10. Get the vehicle checked mechanically. Have the car checked out by a mechanic that you trust. Vehicle emission test. Test to verify that a vehicle meets the minimum clean air standards. Safety inspections. Steps in the car buying process. 11. Determine a fair price. New car sticker price, or MSRP, manufacturer's suggested retail price. Invoice price, price the dealer paid for the car. Subtract any destination charges. Make sure you understand and look up charges that do not sound right. Steps in the car buying process. 12. Negotiate the price. Stick to the facts. Negotiate the price of the new car separately from the price of your trade-in. Steps in the car buying process. 13. Dealer add-ons. High-priced, high-profit dealer services that add little or no value to your car. Tell the dealer you do not want these services on the car and remove them. Financing your car. 14. Financial institutions. Banks. Credit unions. Online lenders. Compare rates and terms. Financing your car. Car dealers may offer better terms on particular models and at particular times of the year, sponsored by manufacturers or their financing agencies. Leasing a car. It is a written agreement that allows use of the car for a specified time period and monthly payment. Usually have option to buy the car at the end of the lease period. Can lease more expensive car than could buy on credit. Always have a car payment but a go to always drive a new car. Consumer protection for car buyers. Warranty states what manufacturer or dealer will do if car does not perform as it should. Lemon laws for cars needing repairs. A lemon is a car with substantial defects that the manufacturer has been unable to fix after repeated attempts. 4 times to fix same problem in first year or 12,000 miles. Out of service for at least 30 days in first year / 12,000 miles. Consumer protection for car buyers. FTC used car rule requires used car dealers to inform consumers ahead of purchase about who will be responsible for paying for certain repairs if they occur after the sale. Buyer's guide sticker. As is, buyer pays for all repairs. Warranty. Dealer pays for some repairs for specific time. Cost of operating a car. Gas and oil. National average, $3.68 per gallon of unleaded fuel. Highest price in 6 years for early summer. 14 colones and 45 centavos per mile. Depreciation. http://www.edmunds.com/car-buying/how fast does my new car lose value infographic. TML. Cost of operating a car. Title, registration, personal property tax, and sales tax. Title, proof you own the vehicle. 30 days to apply for a title, new car. $8.50 title, $2.50 processing fee. Registration, registering your vehicle with the state of Missouri. Pays for your license plates and tags. $3.50 for 1 year, $7 for 2 years. Personal property tax. A tax which is based upon the value of personal property. Sales tax. Paid at the time you apply for the title. Cost of operating a car. Maintenance and repairs. Up 11.26% from 2012, based on a 2013 statement from AAA. $4.97 per mile. Accessories. Window tinting. Different wheels. Audio system.